So, one of the sad parts about living the nomadic life is not consistently being in an area where your friends or family are. So, if you're a big social person and if you are really close to your family and friends, constantly traveling or not being settled and rooted in one area will make you sad. Um, for me, I'm really only connected to my mother as far as my family, and I normally only come to New Jersey to see her in the summer. It's been a little extended this year because of the coronavirus, but when you leave, it makes you sad because you know you're going to be far away traveling, and that's a huge emotional part of being a nomad. Now, you can be a nomad and stay around friends or family. You can stay in that state. So that will vary a little bit. So, how do you get over that? Well, you get over it by realizing you have to live your life. You get tired of everyone, even your friends or family, if you spend too much time with them because you build up resentment because you're not living your life and you're being codependent on other people for emotional support. So, it will all come down to what's your burning desire. Like, if your burning desire within you is to travel and you're staying in an area just to be close to family because you don't want to feel emotional pain, you will be resentful and waste your life. In life, you're going to feel some pain. When you go to the gym, there's pain. No pain, no gain. If you don't go to the gym and if you don't go to work and if you aren't willing to experience some pain, you will never receive the gains of the gym, the gains of getting paid from your job. So if you don't separate from friends or family and be willing to feel some pain, you won't live your best, creative, independent life. So there's no easy answer there, but that's the logic. That's the deep emotional, psychological issue when it comes to separating from people in order to, build your own life, get out of the nest. Birds are meant to get out of the nest and fly. It's a sad part of life, though. It's the reality. It's not. It's just the human experience. The human experience is trying to avoid pain. You can't avoid it. Um, you want to make your pain less, and obviously your life has to line up with your goals and your vision for your life, because that's your compass to guide you. Now you have to structure your inner compass, your gut, emotions, dreams, and goals. You have to structure that with wisdom, logic, and a sustainable life. But you have to do both. You can't just be a robot, but you have to. You can't just be an emotional train wreck. You have to kind of balance it out, and you gotta just understand, okay, that this is all part of life. You make the most of the moments with your loved ones, and you also acknowledge the fact that you need to do certain things in your life on your own for your own individual well-being, because that's why you're here. If you believe you're on earth just to stay around friends and family your entire life and then die, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm saying that's not for everyone. Some people, there's something in them that they have other dreams and aspirations. I mean, I give credit to a lot of people who go from one country to another as immigrants or migrates, like my grandparents did, or many other people throughout the world. They go from one area to another, whether it's because their dream, whether it's because of better life. And that's a tremendously difficult thing, psychologically, emotionally. But a lot of times people are willing to do that, travel around the world, start brand new in a country and be at the low end of the economic scale because things are so worse where they're at that there's only upside. But that's still very painful. I have a couple of friends I know from Uruguay, which is a part of South America, different areas that they've migrated in. It's amazing, what they've gone through in life to live a better life. And I give them a lot of credit. So, like I often share, when you hear someone struggling to speak English or another language, but they know a second language, remember, they know two languages. You only know one. And, sometimes you may hear someone speak in their second language and they're not fluent, and you may look at them in your mind as stupid, but actually they're very intelligent because they can speak two languages. Maybe not very fluent, but I can't speak 2 languages, and I give people a lot of credit. But I'm getting all off track, but this is a big way, a comprehensive way where you look at the emotional part of being a nomad, where you're not anchored in one community all the time. You're not anchored with friends and family as an emotional support. Okay? You have to really be an independent soul, emotionally stable, and willing to deal with some separation. Now, it is true as a nomad, like I did this year, if there's an emergency like the coronavirus or something, you can easily come back to family, friends, or whatever. And that's a plus. You live on wheels. But the negative is you live on wheels, you'll be leaving soon, for most people. But it's what do you want to do in life? The average human is on this earth for 80 years. So within that 80 years, usually the first 20 years you're at home. Usually the last 10 or so years, you're not healthy enough to travel independently in your 80s or whatever. So, you have to figure out, for your prime of your life, which is probably ages 25 to 75, from the prime of your life, how do you want to live? And each individual person with their own fingerprint, always find that unique. Like each human has their own fingerprint, which means there is something unique about you, even if you have similarities of your parents. You have to figure out what is your unique purpose and how do you want to live. And no one, including me, can answer that. And no one can answer it for me. My mom, as much as she loves me and sacrificed, and even my father at times, they can't answer what I need to do for my life. Only I can answer. I can visit them, I can love them, and they can love me back. But I have to be an adult and figure out my own life as far as what makes me tick, what makes me inspired, the science and the logic behind it, being able to support myself in wherever I go. And so, this is the psychological, emotional part of being a nomad, which I think many people underestimate. Many people just worry about what RV am I going to get? Am I going to build out a bus? Am I going to build out a minivan? And they don't think about the psychological part that they're going to go through. And that's why they end up not sustaining this lifestyle. And they just try to sedate their mind through always looking at a new rig, a new vehicle, and they end up going nowhere. So I believe this video helped you. I believe this video is some value, psychologically, emotionally, in a comprehensive way that you look at the nomadic life. So if it did, click the thumbs up, click the blue join button if you'd like to support the channel, get unlimited access. Thank you to all my members. Keep pushing forward, keep showing up. Consistency and good habits, along with a healthy routine, is part of a sustainable lifestyle. Because once in a while, any of us can get lucky, and that's great. You need luck in life. But above that, more than that, you need habits and a routine that can build a sustainable way of living. And you got to figure that part out, all right? So peace. Keep pushing forward. See you next one.